Yeah.
right? And I always keep it very simple. When we get paid, right, whether it's weekly, biweekly, whatever the case is, a lot of times people don't pay themselves first, which is the first rule in finance. Pay yourself first.
Mhm. I'm
But what
guilty of not doing that. Yeah.
there you go. I think
Yes.
we all are, right? So what's happening is, when people get paid, financially, they're probably worried. They're stressed financially. Most people are paycheck to paycheck. Majority of workers are paycheck to paycheck. So when they get paid, the first thing they're doing is what? Paying on their bills and paying on
Yep.
their debts, right? And they kind of leave that pay yourself first for the last thing that they do with their money, right? Which is the complete opposite of what the wealthy and rich people do. Okay, which is pay themselves first, and then what's left from that, then you pay your expenses
Mhm.
after that, right? So yeah, so a debt elimination strategy like debt stacking, or maybe you guys have seen Dave Ramsey talk about the snowball method, right? It's basically systematically coming up with a way to pay down your debt a lot more
Yeah.
efficiently. Okay,
Mhm.
a lot more efficient. Now, some people may not know this, but there are different forms and different types of debt. They're called debt instruments. A credit card is different from a mortgage. Mortgage is
Right.
different from, a car
Like a
payment,
personal
student
loan or
loans,
yeah, student loan, right.
right? So
Mhm.
when you kind of understand how those different debt instruments work, now you're able to, implement that debt stacking or that snowball software a little bit more efficiently. And you don't necessarily have to pay any more than you were paying, kind of just throwing spaghetti against the wall and seeing what sticks, right? Same amount of money, you're just implementing a different strategy that's actually going to work better in your favor. And what's going to happen there now, Daria, is you're going to avoid a ton of money in interest over
Right.
time. All right.
Mhm.
So if we're able to, Daria, if we're able to do this, let's say we look at your current situation and we've determined that you're not going to be debt free for 20 years doing what you're
My
currently doing,
right.
right?
Yeah.
We can look at a debt stacking, right? We just put the information in the system. It's our proprietary um, software, and it will tell us, hey, we can have it paid off in a few years,
Mhm.
just making a little bit of changes, right,
Right.
to what you're currently doing. Right? So I always use the analogy, if you're on a cruise ship and
Yeah.
you just turn that ship maybe 1 degree to the left or 1 degree to the right. Short term, it's not a big difference, but down the road, your
Sure, you
destination
have to
is
change your
very
destination.
different,
Yeah.
right? So it's
Yeah.
just tweaking those things. And I think
Love this.
people are open to those small tweaks rather than huge wholesale changes sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely. I even find that, like, when I interview people in the various health professions, they always say instead of overloading somebody, like I interviewed an acupuncturist recently, and she said, I don't
Right.
ask people to make 50 changes right at the same time. I tell them this week, try drinking more water than you're used to, and then the next week, add this next thing. So it's very similar. I just think it's human nature. People will do things if it's kind of like a gradual thing that they can add to their life, incorporate. And over time, it gets stronger and stronger, like a muscle, like building a muscle.
Oh, I love
So,
that
yeah,
analogy. Yeah, and
yeah,
the other thing we always say too, how do you eat, you've heard this, how do you eat an elephant,
yeah.
right?
A little
One
bit at
bite
a
at a time, just a
time,
little bit
right?
at a time, right?
Yeah.
And if we were to use a fitness analogy, I love working out, I love going to the gym. Some people think it's an overnight success. It's not. You have to go in there every day, just
I
just
was just there myself
there you
this
go,
morning.
just a
Yeah.
little bit at a time, and that
Yeah.
compound effort builds up over time.
Mhm.
Same
Yeah.
concept, just a little bit at a time. But I do get it that we're definitely in that microwave society. We want everything now and quick, but sometimes it just takes a little bit of work. Just go back to the old tortoise versus the hare, right?
Huh.
Tortoise and the hare. The hares do all this other stuff. The tortoise just, hey,
Just
just
plugging along.
that's it, right?
It's
Just going down the road, steady Eddie.